This recording is an offering of Networks for Training and Development's online university.
Good evening and welcome to the Network's Healing Circle monthly calls on Monday. My name is Jen Williams, and I will be leading this conversation. So sit back and enjoy your nice warm drinks and hopefully some warm weather. And we will reflect on this month. This month brings us the astronomical start of winter, where days will be the shortest in the northern hemisphere and longest in the southern. When I thought about hosting this month, I had some winter wonderings and thought about all that December brings us. I was brought to thinking about mythology and seasons and change of Demeter and Persephone. You may recall the story of the daughter and mother duo from school, maybe even some recent Disney movies, and the story of how the solstice heralds the deepest and darkest of days, but also the beginning of the return of light and warmth. The story says that Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, who was the goddess of grain and crops, picked a narcissus flower, also known as the flower of death, and that resulted in Hades, the god of the underworld, opening up the earth and taking Persephone. When Demeter found out, she urged to have Persephone return, but not before she could eat some pomegranate seeds, which would bind her to both worlds equal time. So each year when Persephone would return to the earth, her mother would start the blossoms and make that world that her daughter so enjoyed lustrous and with joy and light and growth. Yet each year, when her daughter would be away, she would bring frost upon the earth, ending harvest and withering plants and flowers in her grief. This is a story of how the seasons became, according to Greek mythology and several other mythologies. Yet Persephone returned each year with enhanced wisdom that in the dark lies introspection and dreams teeming to bloom and blossom when they're brought into the light. It got me thinking about December and all of these celebrations and holidays. Hannukah. Tonight is the last night of Hannukah, the 8-day festival of lights that commemorated the rededication of the temple. And this brings with us themes of freedom, liberation from oppression, miracles, and human action and courage. So while some recall the miraculous victory and triumph over oppression, during this time is also a time of miracles when oil that was needed for the labors and rededication of the temple was due to only last one night, but lasted 8, hence the 8-day festival of lights. It's celebrated by lighting a menorah, and tonight would be the last, spinning a dreidel, surrounded by friends and family, eating traditional foods during seders, and exchanging of gifts that represent hope and renewal. Some say that this is the season for Yule, which typically begins at the solstice and lasts until the new year. And like some, you might know about the Yule log, making wreaths, gathering pine cones, and lighting candles. In tradition, a tree would be brought in for 12 days of Christmas and decorate it. Some would decorate a Yule tree indoors or outdoors. They would exchange sustainable nature-based gifts, give back to nature, scattering bird seed and seeds to feed and nourish nature, but also bring about a reaping of a new harvest. We would celebrate in candlelight and meditate on the quieter and colder, longer nights to reflect on what the new season and year will bring. It's a time for peace and calm. On December 25th, Christmas is celebrated as a sacred religious holiday and worldwide cultural phenomenon. It's a festival celebrating the birth of Jesus, the Son of God, while also having ties to rebirth, the rebirth of the sun as days start becoming longer. Some celebrate Christmas on one day, the 25th. Some celebrate through to what is known as Little Christmas on January 6th, which would be baptism. This holiday is often celebrated with candlelit masses, singing of carols, celebrating and joining together with friends and family, decorating trees, exchanging gifts, and of course waiting for Santa Claus. And Kwanza, celebrated on the 26th through to the new year, a 7-day festival in appreciation of African and African American history, heritage, and culture. Celebrated with musical selections, drumming, feasts, libations, candle lighting, artistic performances, and discussing principles of unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Candles lit in correspondence with each of the 7 principles, and a focus on crops, unity, and community, and the abundance that they provide is the way to give thanks. Oftentimes on January 1st, the last day, there are gifts exchanged to promote success, growth, achievement, purpose, and creativity for the new year. So I join you, having just ran through a rainstorm in Philadelphia, but comforting myself in coziness and all the Hannukah traditions of wearing chunky sweaters, cuddling in blankets, burning candles, and enjoying hot beverages, and of course nature, whether she rains on you or has a nice, warm, sunny day. So what do all of these holidays and what does this month have in common? When I looked at all of these events and how busy this month would be, what I really started focusing on is the common themes of togetherness, family, friends, triumphing the giving of time, presence, and physical presence. That these are times of internal connection to ourselves and familial connections, times of introspection and appreciation, and of all, the promise of a renewal. So I welcome you to take a few moments to focus on what comforts you are seeking this December, this busy month. What gifts are you giving of yourself? What gifts are you giving to yourself? What connections are you open for? What changes are you ready for? What triumphs are you currently fostering? What renewal are you hoping for? When I took a few moments to think of this, it helped me to put perspective on the year that we've had and experienced and survived, and the hope for what's to come. Now that I thought of that, I started to think back to Greek mythology and into Yule and into Kwanza, and looking at planting the seeds and harvesting crops that will get us through. So I ask, what seeds are you planting to secure those hopes for renewal? What deeds are you offering to secure a future of renewal? And most importantly, what do you need to plant the seeds and do the deeds that will bring about the future that you are desiring? I know many of you who join these monthly network calls, and I'm sure there are many that I don't know from all across the globe. But I wanted to focus on the commonalities, the trends and themes, and the fact that the essential workers, the doers, and us do-gooders need to take this time out, if only for 20 to 30 minutes, the first Monday of the month, to recharge, to fuel, to harness, to give back for ourselves, so that we can continue to give of ourselves, not only to ourselves, but to those in need. Because after all, that is the season of giving. So while you're crossing your lists off and making sure that everyone has what they need, I urge you to make yourself a list of the things that you need, the things that you need of yourself, of your body, of your friends, and your family, and your support system, and find a way to plant the seed or do a deed that will bring you to where you need to be. Whether that's an ask or an offer, a moment to yourself, or a moment with others. Be sure that when you're giving so much of yourself, that you fill your cup. I want to thank you all for taking this time out on what is a very busy month ahead, for joining me and allowing me to reflect and hopefully for this to resonate with some of you. Happy holidays, happy December, and sending warm winter wishes to all. We look forward in the new year to you joining and continuing to join us the first Monday of every month for the networks, for training, healing circles. Please check out the website and often Facebook and Instagram for postings to join us and commit to take this time for yourself and for others. These calls have been a blessing for me this past few years, and I look forward to all the ponderings and wonderings I will have with the calls to come. Thank you all. Take care and be well.
Thank you for listening. We hope the information provided was helpful. Don't forget to stop by our website and take advantage of all we have to offer.